Hi Nick, yeah, we're
Hello.
here, sorry.
Sorry. Yeah. So we'll get started. I think so. We were recording this, so we'll be able to share it around with those who can't make it today. So we've got is Kay with you, Sam, as well, or is it just you?
I've got Lisa with me, one of the
Okay,
team leaders.
fabulous. So we're going to come to Sam and Lisa. Was it? Did you say? It's Lisa,
Yeah.
thank you. Oh, and obviously the best background winner goes to Joe this time. Obviously, well done, Joe. Thank you very much. Very Christmassy. Uh, so we're going to go to Sam and Lisa first, and then, as I mentioned, we've got no other presenters today, so we'll be able to answer questions on there. Then if we've got any kind of open questions that we want to put to each other, there's been quite a bit of chat on the WhatsApp group this week, asking various questions. If anybody's got any of those sort of burning issues, then please do speak up and just draw from the wisdom of the crowd. And we might start doing a bit of this in the new year as part of the meetings as well, where you can just bring anything you want to these meetings as well, so it feels a bit more interactive. A couple of bit of housekeeping, a few notices. I see Jackie's on the call. I've just got an email from her. Just massive congratulations to Jackie. Come on, Jackie, put your screen on. You're gonna have to go. Get embarrassed now because Jackie Holmes has just been awarded the BGS Clinical Quality Award, which was quite a rigorous process to go through. We know that Jackie's done such amazing work in this space over the years, and I think that's kind of fair recognition. But from an organisation like the BGS, I think that's really great recognition. So well done, Jackie. We're all really proud of what you've been up to and continuing that great work.
Thank you so much. Yeah, just been announced, so really happy to be able to share that with everyone. And yeah, I try and jump on these meetings as much as I can to see what else is going on because I know there's some great work going on. So thank you for that, Nick.
No worries. The other one, I don't think Kirsty's with us today, but Kirsty from Bristol, she's presented before the active hospital specialist down there. She's moving on from the trust. I'm hoping to keep her connected to this group. But again, just to sort of recognise all the great work that Kirsty's done in North Bristol, particularly around the active hospitals program. She's been such an enthusiast and a powerhouse down there with to keep things moving in such great energy. So sad for North Bristol that Kirsty's moving on, but we'll try and keep her connected to this group as much as possible because she's always got lots of energy and enthusiasm. We'll see where she lands next, I guess. So we'll try and keep a track on her. Okay, so going to go to Sam and Lisa. Some great work. I've had a flick through the slides already. It looks like some absolutely great work going on down in Devon around reablement. We know there's a lot of focus often around the acute hospitals and ward areas, and we're always keen to understand what else is happening. We heard from the guys in was it Essex, I think, last year around that ward-led enablement. And it's about how we can sort of understand how this transition from pre-hospital, in-hospital, post-hospital, deconditioning, reconditioning does really stretch across all elements of the pathway. So really interested to hear from Sam and Lisa, and then we'll sort of share with the group. Any questions to Sam and Lisa, as usual, pop them in the chat and we'll pick them up afterwards, or pop your hands up as we go. So the floor is yours, guys. Hand over
Yeah,
to Devon and put you in the spotlight.
I'll try and get it up. Just bear with me.
Yep, that's good. You can see it.
Um, so I think that are you happy with that?
Yeah,
Hmm.
yep, okay.
Yeah,
All good from your end.
lovely.
Okay, floor is
Good.
yours.
Thank you. So I'm Sam, and I'm the occupational therapy assistant for the social care reablement team. I work very closely with our Band 6 OT, and together there are many parts to the role. Included in this is receiving referrals from our support workers and team leaders to assess our client needs. This can vary from stair assessments to shower assessments and often to prescribe basic pieces of equipment to help achieve their goals within our service. The best part of this role is knowing there are no 2 days the same.
Hi, I'm Lisa. Hopefully a slide will be popping up in a moment. You have to bear with us. We had a little technical hitch with a large screen. So we're both on a very small laptop and my eyesight's not great. But yeah, I'm one of the team leaders with Social Care Reablement. Part of my role includes assessing clients when they first come home. So the assessment's done in their home. We set goals together and I would monitor their progress over a 3-week period. Some clients may only need us for a few days. It might just be a case of building some confidence or that sort of deconditioning we see when somebody comes out of hospital. It's to support them to sort of get back home. We see it all the time where people, you know, they've been in hospital, they've had their medication put in front of them, they've had their meals put in front of them, and they've had somebody to walk to the bathroom with them. So people are often quite anxious when they first come home from hospital. As I say, some people might only need us for a few days, some might need us for up to 3 weeks. Our service receives referrals from both health, so that's direct from hospital wards, or it might be from community teams. And we receive referrals as well direct from Care Direct, so adult social services. We aim to promote independence and we support people to get back to their baseline.
So just covering on from that as well, we're a short-term intervention service providing goal-based support to people in their own homes following a break in independence. We are registered independently with a Care Quality Commission. We have a team of 48 support workers undertaking visits from across the eastern patch of Devon. We have a team of 12 Reablement team leaders supported by our clerks, and we have one OT, one OTA who guides the team of social care team with complex goals.
So what do we do? How do we do it? Bear with us a second whilst we get the slides going. The aim is to support people to live their best lives and reduce the need for ongoing care visits. We work with people on increasing their confidence in their daily routines. We use a confidence ladder to help measure people's progress. We work with the person to establish what it is they wish to achieve, and we set the goals, like I mentioned, around reaching those targets. The support workers progress these with each visit, so every visit is documented. So the support workers will go in and write exactly what they've needed to do for a client and why. So with a team leader, we can sort of see what obstacles and barriers they're facing, and we will adapt the goals and to work towards their independence. We encourage positive risk taking. We're a 7-day service and we can provide up to 4 visits per day. And it's functional reablement, so we're quite flexible depending on the individual's needs. If somebody starts off with 3 or 4 visits a day, we obviously aim within the time we're supporting to reduce them down gradually. And we liaise with other professionals and signpost to local charities and voluntary groups. As I say, we receive referrals from both health and the community. We've received 1,335 referrals in the last 12 months, mainly from primary care. And 93% of people that have worked with us require no ongoing care. So that's a statistic we're really proud of.
So we always ensure to adopt a strength-based approach when working with our clients and positive risk-taking to help achieve their goals. I just want to share a quote with here that I saw, that a strength-based approach to care, support and inclusion says, let's look first at what people can do with their skills and their resources, and what can the people around them do in their relationships and their communities. People need to be seen as more than just their care needs. They need to be experts and in charge of their own lives, which I think is very important in what we are doing. And what else do we do? So we also have a host of tips and techniques added to and shared by the team to support people with their addles and paddles. So that's always added into their goals. And then we create training to suit an identified need. So that's sort of a lot of in-house training that we do and support around whatever the support workers feel that they need touch and base on, or the office staff. We work quite closely with the Eastern Care Services as well, so they support us with a lot of sort of ad hoc training. So recently we've done a whole day training around stomas, catheters, falls, stockings. So we had many nurses and lots of people from health come in, which was, I think everyone really enjoyed that and we had great feedback from it.
So we always give a feedback form at the end of our support with somebody and encourage them to complete that. So this is some comments on what people have said about our service. But the service made a lot of sense to me, allowed me to discover exactly what I am capable of and what I need help with in this new phase of my life. It's quite a long one, so I'll let you scroll through that one yourselves. So something else that we're quite proud of is we always ask as part of our survey if somebody would recommend social care reablement to their friends and family. And over the last 12 months, we've always had 100% answer as yes, they would recommend our service. We also ran some in-house CQC training with all the staff. So that's team leaders, clerical team, OT team, and our support workers. And we asked them what they thought was outstanding in what we provided as a service. And this is some of the comments that were made during that training session. And a lovely quote that I heard at a manager's adult social services meeting not long ago, which I think we've adopted ourselves, is that SCR were supporting people to live gloriously ordinary lives.
So here we just wanted to share some pictures of our team receiving their Gold Award for all the great work that they're doing. And I just wanted to add as well that since we've been part of this network, and it hasn't been long, that we've really enjoyed listening to what everyone else are doing. And hopefully next year we're looking to implement quite a few new ideas into our team, just from what we've seen from a lot of presentations from this network. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Oh, I just want to share this last quote, sorry. Just you are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I mean, that's a great quote to end on. I mean, I think it does kind of sum up what often we see in terms of not just, I think you touched on the strength-based element of, not just from a reablement perspective, focusing on what people can't do, but focusing on what people can do. And also that element of giving people hope, that real sense of what could be next. So that's a great quote to end on. Has anybody got any questions for Sam and Lisa? Joe?
It's not a question. I just want to say that totally resonates with everything I believe in through my work. I used to work for the Falls Prevention Service before I came to work for C360, and I worked with the therapist teams, and I saw the great work that went on within reablement. And now with C360, a lot of my work is around setting up walks, sort of motivating people to get active. And particularly my work is going into care homes and supporting those who are probably less confident or less able. And I also do an online walk, which came to fruition during lockdown, for people that wouldn't go out and walk, and just making sure that people have those opportunities and believing in themselves. And I think a lot of it as well is about accepting that it's okay, there's a change in your life. And what you're doing is supporting those people to accept that change. And I think that's half the battle. As far as I'm concerned, I could go on and on. I've just got a real passion about it, and seeing people blossom and thinking actually it's okay. I couldn't do that, but I can now do this. So it's looking at what you can do, not what you can't, and that motivates people to take that extra step. So brilliant work, absolutely love it.
Thank you. How does the online walk
okay,
work,
you'll have
Jo?
to join the big Christmas one tomorrow. Okay, so it's on Teams, and it started during lockdown when people couldn't get out. It's called Active Motivation. This is what we want to get onto the wards, but it's a bit tricky at the moment, especially at this time of year, with things that are going on with COVID and flu. And so it basically started during lockdown when walks couldn't carry on so easily and people were isolated. So I just came up with this idea, let's just do something online. That's what I do. And a lot of guys came from Headway who couldn't get out, and they still come on now. And this is right back from when COVID. It's a very small group. There's only about 4 people on it at the moment. I'm always trying to promote it everywhere. Anyone can join from anywhere in the country. And we did have more people from all over Essex during lockdown, but anyone can join it. And it's on Teams. At the moment, it's on a Friday. I'm just there with music on, and people just move as they can, whether in their chair, whether in a bed, whether they're. So any of your guys that want to join, I can send a link to it. But because I'm now cutting my Fridays, I think this is going to be on a Tuesday afternoon. So I'll keep you posted. But there is one tomorrow between 10:30 and 11. If anyone wants to join, I can send the link out maybe. And it's just really about moving to music as you can. And people choose tunes. It's just motivational. It's fun. It makes people smile.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I bet it is fun as well. Obviously, the people we go into, a lot of our clients, they're not all sort of on internet happy.
No, that's the trouble.
That's the difficulty. But we do try and promote that to keep people connected through IT. But it sounds fabulous. Yeah, really good work.
It's so simple, honestly.
Yeah.
Sometimes the simplest things work the best, don't they? So.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Pop the link in the chat, Jo, and just put a
will.
little comment next to it for those who aren't on the call. They'll be able to see the chat as well, and then maybe in the new year, once you've got your Tuesdays set up, come and do a sales pitch to the group, and then we can share it around. I think it sounds like a great idea.
It's one of those things that really started. It's so simple, and yet now I'm going into care homes doing it as a live session. So and just to see the difference it makes to people. Yeah, it's
fabulous.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Anybody else got any questions, VJ?
I don't have a question. Thanks, Lisa and Sam. You probably remember I'm the other counterpart of you guys, are based in Exmouth. Thanks for bringing your good work to this platform. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, VJ. Anybody else got any questions? I've got a couple, if I could take chair's privilege, if you don't mind. One you touched on already about some ideas for next steps for you guys. What was it? What particular things are you thinking of?
Well, one of them is between myself and the OT. We definitely want to focus more on outdoor mobility and stair assessments. I think they're quite important as well. We get a lot of clients that do come home and they've got that downstairs setting. We want to get them back up and utilise most of the facilities upstairs. That's definitely something we're looking at. And there's also what we want to try and do is if we have any gaps between our rotors, which it doesn't happen very often, but we're going to have a list of clients that could do with extra input, even if we're just going there just for a cup of tea, have a chat, play some cards. So we just really want to focus on a more one-to-one basis rather than going in there to support with their personal care, their meals. I think mentally it would help. So yeah, hopefully that's the things we want to get going forward.
I think that second point you made there about something to sort of bear in mind for all of us. I think in terms of we often will focus on physical maintenance, physical ability, but cognitive ability and cognitive decline as well through just sometimes just boredom or just lack of just low mood as well, because you've been in a period of illness, and that you may have had significant. I mean, we often talk about this going into hospital. We sometimes forget this. It's a major life event for people. Those who work in healthcare and around people, we kind of get used to the idea of that this is our day job, this is what we exist in. But for people going into hospital or going to any element of care, then it's a major life event, and I think what you've picked up on is a real sense of an understanding of that, and an empathy of that, and recognizing the change within the person. So that cognitive thing, I think, is really quite important. I mean, just sort of touching on that, you talked about your onward referrals, that you connected to lots of different groups across the community. To expand on that a little bit, who you connecting with? Are there any sort of exercise groups? We've had many sort of different exercise community exercise groups on here, third sector charities. Who do you tend to refer on to in terms of those groups?
We do cover a really wide area as part of our patch. So if you think of Devon, there's quite a lot of remote areas as well for people. So we do find that yes, there are community network set up that we can signpost people to, but a lot of people do live in isolation in remote areas, and I think that's what Sam's saying about us, that that little bit of social interaction where we would. But what we've set up, Sam has set up some pages where we're collating any community event or activity or support that we can come across, so we have that in one place. So support workers are sort of armed with that information, because it does take time, and there's so much out there that it is sometimes quite tricky to know exactly what's going on within a community, especially when we're a short-term service going to somebody that might live remotely. But you've set up a really good
just a Teams channel, so anyone can access it whilst they're face to face with a client. So you can't just say, "Oh, let me go and research and I'll be back to you." They can do it whilst they're there with them and help support them and signpost them together, so they can make the phone call together. So
we've linked in. I've just linked in and saw a client yesterday that I went to assess that had been referred to us. He'd only been with us a few days, and it was just quite evident that actually his needs weren't around personal care, but he had lost a lot of confidence through ill health. He was, only in his 50s, but he wanted to access community groups. He wanted to do more sort of cooking from scratch, that kind of thing. So I've done a referral for him to a service called Reaching for Independence, who are also goal-based. They set goals, but they don't necessarily go into somebody every day, but they might sort of set goals where they go in 2 or 3 times a week. They'll take that person out into the community, access public transport, maybe do a food shop alongside them to build their confidence, and then actually do that bit of cooking and prep with them. So we try and keep aware on top of what is available out there. And as I say, Sam setting up the Teams channel means we can give that instant advice and that instant signposting to other services.
Yeah, but really good idea. I mean, you have large areas of rurality as well. So across East Devon, as many other, I live in Shropshire, and some of our teams as well have that challenge around, the very isolated population, and similar across the board. I mean, Claire's put in a bit in the chat there about some work around local social arts, some access to music sessions. That's really good, isn't it? That sort of applying for some more funding for the Arts Council. This is why I love some of these innovative little. There's little pockets of activity that we don't always know are out there, and how we can access this and find ways to do that. Sometimes the formal routes don't always work. If we what you guys and what Claire's described there is, and what we often hear is, we're working with these various groups, and sometimes you're the connectors of people, and just bring things together. BJ, do you want to come in?
Oh yeah. One of the national statistics says Devon in the next 5 years is going to be the highly populated elderly patients across the country. And we had a lot of demand, and there are multiple other voluntary sectors also working. So that's one of the other areas we can refer the people, like say example, we got a center called Sea Change in Budley, which they offer a lot of services to anyone from the community living within the catchment area. It ranges from learning difficulty, supporting memory issues, voluntary drivers to take people home, and we got something called um, well-being while waiting, when someone actually waiting for a appointment, and they worry that how long it's going to be, all those things. So they do weekly calls to them to check how they are, if there is anything worrying on those things. And also our PCNs, they recruited plenty of social prescribers. They are another drivers to make people get active, motivate them to go out and all that. So those are some of the areas where Sam's team and our teams, when we decided our involvement is finished and we need to empower the patients, that's the outlet we gave them.
Mm, fabulous. Thanks, VJ. So yeah, challenge for everybody, I guess, is find out what's in your area if you don't know already. So thank you, guys. That's stimulated a really good conversation. So we'll sort of hand over whatever is left of this of the meeting. If anybody's got any other broad questions they want to put to the group, use the wisdom of the crowd, then please let me know. If there isn't, we can wrap up and you can have a bit of time back. But I wanted to give you the space to if you had any burning questions you wanted to ask anybody else. If has anybody got any particular queries that they might want to ask the group today? No, brilliant. So we'll wrap things up. Oh no, Claire's going to come back in. Claire's going to fabulous.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, yeah, I was just going to say to add on to what you were just saying about knowing what's available in the community, is that this project actually only really grew legs through a chance encounter with somebody from a local authority in our area, who said, "Oh, you've given me some valuable information that I shared with her about some transport services in our locality." She was like, "I'll give you something," and put me in touch with somebody from a company, an equal arts company, in the northeast, and that then is where we got going with a dance artist that was coming to two of our older persons wards once day a week, for a couple of 45-minute sessions. And it's turned into this larger project that is now going to encompass from acute care into discharge. And we've even got things like acrobatics and, gymnastics and different levels of professionals who have an interest in older persons care to help and come along and start, I guess, getting our patients moving and thinking about them going home from acute care to into discharge. So my interjection was to say, check out your local authorities and see what connections you can make with, because I would have never have kind of approached the local LA. One difficulty that we have though is going across. So our patch, if you like, is so large. Here at Sunderland and South Tyneside, we go across two local authorities and sometimes go into a third local authority. So one of our hospitals is in each kind of local authority, which means that we then have to see if the same can be replicated at the other hospital in the other locality. So it's a little bit challenging, but so far, what we're hoping to do is get this project up and running at one hospital in one locality where two of our older persons wards are, and then hopefully we can move it to the other site with the other locality where six of our older persons wards are. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to kind of getting underway with that. Hopefully in the new year. We just need to see what happens with the application.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, yeah, really good advice there about contact the local authority. Use all our links. So
Mm.
yeah, and I guess trying to find it is sometimes hard work, as you said, to try and connect some of it. Unfortunately, systems aren't integrated as much as we'd like them to be. We know there's
No.
kind of there's variety and variability, but yeah, it's there is lots out there. It is about how we can connect. So encourage others as well to connect through the WhatsApp group. I'll put the link in the chat before we finish, just in terms of sharing some of those ideas as well about if you found routes to other services which could be replicated elsewhere, then I think a lot of the kind of stuff we might the doing stuff we might know. I
Mm.
think this group is really helpful to bring people together to say, have you thought about this, or there's this group over here and there's a connection over here. So I think that's where the value of this, the crowd comes, and then just inspiring with a few other, like Sam and Lisa have done today by talking about the things in more of a, for me, take away one thing today, think about that, the positive intent behind the activity, that kind of the positive approach to that, not looking at what people can't do, look at what people can do and give them that sense of enthusiasm and hope. So yeah, brilliant stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap things up and give you 25 minutes back as my little Christmas present to you all. Go and enjoy that whatever you want. I'm going to share around the recording. Sam, Lisa, if it's okay with you, I'll share your slides with the group. Um, uh, just quick heads up, after the new year, we move to a Wednesday. So we're going to try a Wednesday out. Let's see how that works for people, and we'll run that for 6 months and see how people feel about on a Wednesday, if that helps. But really appreciate those who could join today. Realise how difficult it is to drag away from the day job for a bit. So I really appreciate that at what is a really busy period. Probably won't see any of you on the call before Christmas, unless you're in my neck of the woods in Shropshire. Uh, just wishing you all a fantastic Christmas. Thank you for everything you've been doing over this year. Really do appreciate it. Thanks for joining the calls and being involved in the network. Hope you get a bit of downtime and spend that in whatever way you feel you would like to over Christmas and New Year. And eat plenty of chocolates and drink too much and eat too much. People always say, don't drink too much. I say, drink as much as you want and eat too much as you want, and go for it. And we'll catch up again in the new year.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
See you all.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.